What's up, guys? Today I had the best trading day in my life, securing myself over $2,000 in one day. And I'm gonna be explaining each trade I took and why I took it. So this first trade was actually a swing position that I had overnight on my Apex PA, which I risked 1,000 on. Pretty much the idea behind this trade was that we had this unfilled daily gap below, which I was really confident we were gonna fill just because we were like insanely overextended. Yes, I know we were at all-time highs, but we were actually building out pretty good bearish structure. So basically, what I did is around, I think this was like 6 p.m. open, I dead ass just placed a short position. I think it was, yeah, once we swept PM high, I placed a short position, stop loss at all-time highs, and ES was actually already at all-time highs at this point. There was an SMT. That's why I kept it at all-time highs. Pretty much, yeah, I entered my short position over here, and I just anticipated for this 1 hour to respect and then send us lower to this daily. And then also, we just built up a shit ton of LR up here. Like, we really had no higher time frame manipulation. Therefore, I really thought that this, like, whole bullish play up to this hourly gap was just fake. And I honestly was just really confident it was going to get ran through. Now, the tricky part about Asia is that entries are horrible, right? Like, if you have ever traded Asia, you're going to know that to get an entry, it's almost impossible. The inversions are shit. Like, you get random ass wicks and shit. So that's why I prefer just running swing positions overnight. So yeah, pretty much I had the short position. I wasn't drawdown, but I wasn't really scared because once again, I thought this 1 hour was just going to send us lower. And then we pretty much dumped going into the night. And then I think it was this morning that we filled this daily gap. It was somewhere over here. Yeah, right over here around 6:30. I wake up at like 6:30. So yeah, about an hour before I woke up to this hitting. So that was a great way to start my day. And then this trade alone secured me $1,000. Honestly, I felt like Michael Burry shorting this shit. Like, shorting at all-time highs is risky, but I'm telling you, I just had that feeling and it played out. So that's nice. Now going into New York AM session, pretty much overnight, once again, we just displaced down. Then we put in this bullish SMT with this 1 hour intermediate low. However, like, I kind of didn't care about it just because we were in this market maker sell model. Here, I'll show you what a market maker sell model is for you guys who don't know. So it's like that. This is like the sell side of the curve right here. Hold on. All right, so pretty much like when you have an obvious drawn liquidity, like an external low, right? And we're inversing every single bullish gap, we're usually bound to just finish that trend until we reach that objective of that external low. And as you can see, we literally have the same exact model right here. Like we have that, what's it called? High, low, and then we expand higher, and then we obviously create the same structure, and our most external low is over here. Yes, we had this 1 hour intermediate low, but it's like it didn't really look significant in a way. I was okay taking longs off it as long as they were continuation, since that showed good structure, but overall I was leaning more bearish until that external low. But as you can see, going into market open, we respected this 1 hour gap. We opened up this 15-minute gap, so honestly, this 15-minute was just going to be my condition. Now my bias was mixed. So once again, if we respect this 15-minute gap, I want to see remanipulation. And then if we inverse it while respecting the hourly bullish, then obviously price is lower, probably down to this new day opening gap and this external low. So basically, going into market open, I think, yeah, so we manipulate one more time inside this hourly before market open. This is a New York AM session. This is literally right before at 9:29. And then after, we pretty much trade down to this 15-minute gap with this big displacement candle. So if this 1 minute inverse, I just wanted to see remanipulation, since as you can see, New York AM high didn't manipulate into anywhere. Therefore, like, I literally never see this being left. Like, New York AM high being inside nothing significant is really rare. So I honestly was just really confident in remanipulation if we did inverse this 1 minute. And as you can see, in literally one candle, we inverse this shit with a V shape. So after that, I took a long position. And this is not a pattern trade in my eyes. I do not care what people say. This is not a pattern trade. For me, like, I'm taking this setup and be explaining why. So first, we have sponsorship from hourly. And then after, what do? We sweep a 15-minute intermediate low, which now makes this low pretty protected since it swept a low inside a fair value gap that was also sponsored. So we have that. We have a V-shaped recovery. And then we also had SMT with ES. And then obviously, the one thing that people will say is that there's no draw above, which in my opinion, what I was aiming here was just remanipulation, because I knew we were going to at least remanipulate because, as I said before, about the New York AM high being left. So pretty much I would go break even at this high, and then I would just target low hanging fruit for like, what is that? Like about 15 more points. So basically that's what I did. And as you can see, this is literally what happened. In like a few candles, I went break even and then full TP, just like that. And if you want an in-depth recap from all these trades that I'm going over, you can go on my TikTok, and I posted one today after New York session. So that was trade 2, and that secured me. I think that was like $380. I thought I was aiming for 500, but I missed one contract, so I only went in with 3, as where I was supposed to go in with 4, but it's honestly whatever, mistakes happen. And then after we created this 5-minute bullish gap, so once again, this was going to be my condition. The main reason I did stay on was because we still had our draw. We still had to finish our market maker sell model I was talking about. So if we were to respect this 1 hour bearish gap, then obviously I was open to taking a short down to that external low. And then as you can see, we inverse this gap just barely, like literally by a tick. And if you were trading on MNQ, it actually did an inverse on there. So you probably got cooked and weren't able to take this trade at all. But yeah, we've got this 5-minute IFUG right over here. And then I put my stop loss at the swing high since it's protected at this point, I feel like. And then I targeted the most external low to finish our market maker sell model. I saw some people who took this trade wanting to go break even right here, which I honestly don't really see the point of, because I really don't see any rejection from that area. Like, it's literally just a 1-minute low. So therefore, I did not go break even at all. And as you can see, this shit chopped for a little bit. So there's everyone getting stopped out if they went break even. And then I held it through. And then finally, out of nowhere, we like started to dump. Yeah, there we go. In like 25 minutes, this ended up hitting full TP. And some people were actually saying that we did have a 4-hour unmitigated above, which is true. I did see that at 10 a.m. We did open a 4-hour unmitigated. However, just look how far away price is from this unmitigated gap. I think this was like 45, 50 points. Yeah, you're literally 49 points away from this. Like, you're basically expecting big manipulation or remanipulation if you want to see that gap get hit, because 50 points, once again, is not very easy to come across. Well, in today's market it is, but still, you're still asking for a 50-point remanipulation. So I didn't care about that. We were still holding this hourly, and yeah, I was pretty confident taking this, and I felt like the main reason I did take this was simply because of the risk to reward. Like, basically, look, I have a protected stop loss, and I'm targeting a pretty low resistance draw, which was this external low, and I'm getting, this was like, I think, yeah, 2.5 R. Like, that's good. Like, that's appealing to take, and I felt like I wanted to put capital in this situation. So yeah, those are literally the 3 trades I took that made me $2,000 in total. This trade made me, I think, 550 or 500. Somewhere around those lines, I think. If you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe and leave a like. And my free Discord is linked in bio.